Who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Leopard King, Mike L. This is Legit Paranormal, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. It is June 2nd, 2023. So we got a 7 and a 2, and then 2 2s and a 3. God darn it. 7 minus 2 is 5. I don't know. There's got to be something I can't do it for the math geeks. But joining me, hopefully, from his Commodore 64, Buddy Money. There, what's up, buddy?
Am I coming through, Mike? Good evening.
Honestly, I didn't think you were gonna make it. It was so bad before.
It's the dial-up service that I have here in the house. It just doesn't compete with. It doesn't do anything for me.
You got to get rid of AOL, buddy.
It gives me a headache more than anything. But things that make me feel good, Mike. Tonight's show, we welcome back our a 3-time returning guest, and for the special occasion for tonight's guest, I drove into the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, from where our guest
comes from, lives, inhabits.
Lovely place. They had a triple IPA, right, for a 3-time guest. And ironically enough, it's called Insert Hip Hop Reference Here. And our guest tonight is such a Wu Tang enthusiast. I thought it was so appropriate for me to get a 10.5% alcohol by volume beer, which I find to be absolutely delicious. And it's a collaboration, which is another important thing to note about tonight's guest. The collaboration between two good breweries, Trillium in Canton and Monkish out there on the West Coast in California. Cheers, guys. You guys continue to make great beers.
Hey, buddy, stop using sarcastically.
Oh my God, that's so good.
There was nothing sarcastic about what you said at all. It was actually, you should have said in comparison, because that's what you did. Just saying. Joining us, Sin Schrader Hill. What's up, Sin?
Hey, guys. I'm joining you with a little sun drop and vodka again.
Oh, look at you with the vodka hitting the hard shit.
I'm telling you. Cheers.
Yeah. Hey, I'm drinking coffee.
Cheers.
Again.
So joining us is someone who's made it to the 3-Timers Club. And I got to be honest, it's just not a good name you can come up with a club with 3 people. It just doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't. Couldn't figure out anything good. But joining us, buddy, you did the intro. Can you still do it?
Paranormal Investigator, historical preservationist, if you will, Wu-Tang enthusiast.
Yes, I will.
Welcome back to the show. 3rd time in a row. Oh, 3rd time. Yeah, Matty Warner. Welcome, Matty Warner.
What's up? What's up, guys? Thank you for having me. Let's do this damn thing.
So, how you been?
I've been wonderful.
Good. Good.
Living the dream, working my ass off, but loving it every second of it.
Yep. Yeah. You have energy that I don't possess. With sometimes your posts make me tired.
It's all caffeine and rage.
God bless you. You know what I mean? Because Sin, I don't know if you've met Matt, but this is Matt.
I have not.
Nice to meet you virtually.
Very nice to meet you.
So I want to do a recap because for everyone coming to Block Island, July 21st through the 23rd. Am I correct there, Frozen Buddy?
Those are the dates.
Mm-hmm.
I just want Buddy Headroom to pay attention. I can't.
I'm with the program, Mike.
All right.
He's on that triple IPA. Cut him some slack.
There's a lot of things about you, a lot of things. So for that weekend, you're going to be there. I want, if someone came up to you and said, "Hey, who's Matt Warner?" What would you say, Matt?
What would I say about myself?
Oh yeah. Someone asked you who Matt Warner was. What would you say?
Oh, Jesus. That's a loaded question. You could have given me a little heads up. You're going to ask me that.
No. Why would I do that? Because then
I would say that I'm kind of finding myself to be an old school paranormal purist amongst a field of fake shitbags nowadays. Yeah. I'm doing the best things that I can do, that I see fit, and things that I feel are benefiting the field as a whole versus trying to garner views and likes and fake supporters. So at the end of the day, my goal is to preserve locations, bring more locations to the field for people to do their research, and just try to, be a good person. It's a lost art form. I mean, I'm very brash, and I'm very, you guys know, I speak this truth, and a lot of people don't like that, especially the frauds. Damn right I am, Aaron. So I have a lot of detractors because of that, because I think a lot of people worry that I'm going to call them out on their bullshit. But I don't care about what anyone else is doing. As long as my name's not in someone's mouth, I'm just doing my thing. I stay in my lane. I focus on what I focus on and just enjoy it, you know? So I guess I would just say I'm a paranormal purist and just trying to do some good things for the field as a whole.
So, buddy, what do you think of his review of himself?
I think it's pretty good. I would have led with Dick, and then but no. Other than that, I think it was really good.
I walk through the door leading with Dick every day, man.
Hey, buddy, Tuesday, 11:30, HR. Don't
right. We
don't
cannot
park in the
insult
front.
the guests.
Don't park in the
anymore.
front. All right. So Sin, here's what I would say. It's appreciated Matt's approach to things, because he's somebody that's going to have fun doing what he's doing, and as long as he's not being disrespectful, there's no harm in having fun. And then the other thing is, if you become popular on or in the paranormal world in any sort of way, people just don't like you for whatever they see positive in you, and they just go crazy. And you know what? You can, buddy, come to speak of that. You can read all that and more. My new book, Paranonsense, Paradrama, Paragold. Available on Amazon.
Bestseller.
Yeah, available on Amazon.
Totally.
Yeah, no, that's part of the game. Yeah, you handle it very well, and it doesn't seem to bother you, and that's kind of how it should be. Am I right?
It just drives me to do more.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, if someone doesn't like me, and there are, you know, probably I'm probably up to 2 good handfuls of people now that don't like me.
That's good.
And that's cool. But you know, I've never done anything wrong with them, so they can go pound sand for all I care. Let them be miserable and hate and get nowhere in life. I'm just gonna keep doing my thing.
Yeah, I probably I know Buddy has a lot more than that, but I mean, you know, yeah, but I got a bunch of those, and the thing is, I don't care if they're happy, if they're sad. I don't even care. Like, I think that's the greatest gift of becoming old, is total lack of short-term memory.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, buddy, it's total lack of short-term memory. So Matt, you're coming out to the island. What are you expecting? Just because this is a great question, because I don't know if you've ever been there.
I've not, and that was like, there are so many aspects of this weekend that I'm excited for. Like, all of it, of course, but I have no idea what to expect. I don't know what the hell's on Block Island. I've not researched it because I don't want to. I want to just show up and just, you know, whether it's going to be like my Eddie Murphy coming to America moment, I have no idea. But I'm looking forward to being there, and I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna bring my zest for life, and we're gonna have some fun. And I got some fun ideas up my sleeve that I might pull out and see if we can have some fun with while I'm there. But
Matt,
I'm just gonna go with it.
Can I add one to another? Let me Block Island. I'm not gonna give it away too much, but it's like how the Bridgewater Triangle you have in Massachusetts. This is like all that and then some at Block Island. It is unbelievable activity there.
But on that same note, Sin, if you just stand in front of the Block Island Ghost Tours headquarters, you see everybody in the world walk by you, and you get to ask them if they want to come to a magic show or stuff like that. Like, Rick let me help pitch on the street, so I got to improv with people. Oh, I was having so much fun. I was just saying whatever I wanted to be funny. It was just great. It's like a college town mixed with. It's like if college kids went on a break and somehow their parents and grandparents came too and decided not to wear all their clothes. I mean, all the old guys, they don't button shirts. Old guys don't have to button shirts. They don't. They just unbutton shirt walking down the street.
Thongs. I just saw thongs in my hair.
No. I didn't see many of that.
I didn't like it.
As long as it's not man thongs, we're okay.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, no, that's what the problem is. Would be.
Okay. Well, I might not. Well, let's not do that. I'm the only one allowed to do that.
Well, buddy, you're gonna have to get another bathing suit. Figure it out.
We can't show up in the same Borat Mankini, buddy. All right.
Buddy's is polka dot.
Buddy's got a
really-
lot of things going on, and you can read all about that more in my book, Buddy Money Fair: The Truth About Buddy. Buddy, in trouble tonight, man.
Enjoy
been
your
waiting on
sleep,
this.
Aaron. Thanks for being here to spread hate.
So, I saw the pictures that Buddy gave me to kind of use for the video, and then writing the song. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. I saw the doll again, and
Your best friend.
that's my biggest. I think that's the biggest distance between you and me as people. I can't figure out why you would want to have something haunted, especially a doll like that with a noose in your house. Like, I mean, like, there's not even like 1% that I would keep the doll. Like, it's a hard 100 that it's gonna get out of my house. Like, how do you do it? Like, what you?
I don't. It's like I didn't seek it out. It found me, like most things do.
Mhm.
I mean,
Even worse.
At the end of the day, like I get scared pretty easily. Like now, I'm living in one of the haunted houses I run. One of the locations I run. I'm sitting in the House of Hurt and Pain right now, and that's where I've been staying for 3 weeks. And I actually just brought the doll here from my other location because I was like, oh, I'm living here now. I got a place I can have her. And the owner of this house the other day, he's like, I gotta ask you something. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He was like, why'd you have to bring that doll to the house? And I'm like,
Right.
like, listen, dude. I'm like, it's not that big. He's like, well, it's, I heard, isn't it evil? I said, no, it's not evil. It just wants attention. It's just got energy to it. It's no big deal. It's not gonna fuck up the feng shui of this place. It's all good. So,
No, but that's a tough pickup line. Like, would you like to come back to my place at the Hurt and Pain where I have a haunted doll?
well, I mean, I've kind of pigeonholed myself into a specific type of person that's going to actually come back to this house. I'm not going to just be out at a bar and just have some random girl be like, oh, let's go back to your place and have to make that explanation to her on the way, So
That makes actually total sense.
yeah,
Right.
it is what it is, So
In a weird way, you've Ichiro'd. Like your skill. You're taking to a science. You're going like, I'm taking this one. Boom. All right, good. Sin.
Yeah, I like the fact that he didn't mess up his feng shui.
I still don't know what that means.
That was awesome.
No, I'll be honest. Like, I do speak for dumb, and I don't know exactly what it means. Does it mean the way the room is set up? Because that doesn't even make sense.
It's the room, the house. Yeah, the way you have things placed amongst you, and you're not supposed to face a doorway while you sleep. You're not supposed to have a mirror facing you while you sleep. Things like that.
All right, those I know.
I do.
But like I know you don't. You're supposed to always have your feet pointing out. My grandfather said, because whatever, to the door. The mirror I know. But then, like, the actual idea of where, like I don't know. I still don't know where to put stuff. Like,
Yeah, I don't either.
I couldn't put a lamp in a place and be like, that's where it goes, because I have no clue. So some people are always like, oh yeah, it's the whole room, and I'm like, what does that even mean to someone like me? I don't get it.
Right. It's something to do with all the elements and, everything works together and you feel better in it. But I'm not sure where the haunted doll comes into the feng shui.
Well, to coincide with the other spirits. It was spiritual feng shui.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So when you bring a spirit into a house like other spirits, is it like introducing a dog to other dogs? Like, what's the deal? Is there any kind of fighting going on first? Territorial thing? I'm being serious. Territorial
I would assume that there is probably something like that we don't see on the other side of the veil, kind of like a chest thumping contest, so to speak.
Yeah,
like,
what
are you doing here? What are you doing here? And when I brought her in, I did out loud explain. I said, all right, she's with me. She's going to be here for a while, like I am. We're all going to be fine. Like I talk to the house, like, because I'm here alone 90% of the time. My daughter's here tonight, which is great. She actually loves sleeping over here, and we just got a black kitten today, so now the kitten's going to be a member of this place. And
Nice.
but I come home here alone most nights, and I'll walk through the door. And where I'm sitting right now in the kitchen, the room right off to the right of me is the bedroom where both the previous owners died. And the week before I moved in here, I saw her standing in that room. While I was standing here talking to the owner, I looked, and she just poked around the corner of the dresser, and I looked at her. And I looked at the owner. I was like, no one's else here, right? He was like, nope. I said, well, Dorothy was just standing in her room looking at us. So I've encountered her. I've encountered her husband, and there's been some other spiritual encounters here. So I just walk around like, hey, good night, house. Good morning, house. I'll see you later, house. We're all good here. I've told them flat out, like, if I'm not investigating, do not come out and talk to me. I'm not interested. Like, I'm trying to sit here, watch TV, eat dinner, and get the hell upstairs to bed, and that's it. I don't like spending extra time if I don't have to here.
Sin, That
Yeah.
sounds like it would be too much for my brain to even handle. Like I could not talk to other people in the house besides the other people in the house. Like sometimes I don't want to hear me. Would that bother you having to talk to the house? Different
I've
people in the
had
house?
I've had to do it. So no. But
Okay.
I do have a little question though. What does your daughter think about the doll, or have you shown her the doll?
My daughter's been ghost hunting with me since she was 7. So she's had experiences. She's sensitive like myself. The doll doesn't bother her. The only thing that's ever bothered her is a set of paintings that were brought into my home that she saw something with them that night while she was sleeping, which she referred to as a demon when she was little.
Oh,
And
wow.
those are the only things that I don't have in the house. Those are in a separate storage area. I've only handled them like twice. I've brought them to conventions and whatnot, but those are the only things that have what I would say is a bad energy. Everything else just has energy to it.
So, so demons. That's a big issue. Everybody that comes up on every show we do.
Huge issue.
Someone they just want to say there's no such thing as demons, and it's strictly because they're thinking of it as a religious term, and they can't completely shake it. Like you can put the religious on it, you can take it off. It's still the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The same speech you give all the time. We're all going to eventually go after the same guy because I don't think any of us are going to be wrong. You know what I mean? So we'll be good. So you say demon, and I always say demon, and people flip out. Oh, no such thing as demons, but there's like evil spirits. And it's like, well, what are we talking about then?
Right.
See, I don't believe it was a demon, but my 7-year-old at the time believed it was, and that's enough for me because she doesn't know a better term. It could have been anything. The way she described it definitely sounded like some crazy shit. I think that demons, of course, exist, but we are not encountering them at the rate that people expect to be encountering them.
Right. Amen, dude. Amen.
People, I've had conversations. Carl Johnson, one of my favorite people. I've had, you guys know Carl very well. If you talk with Carl, you talk with Carl for a very long time. So I've had very in-depth conversations about everything he's dealt with, and he knows way more than I do. And I just believe that, yes, they're out there, but it's a very, very rare occurrence.
Yeah, you mentioned Carl Johnson, right? Now, Carl will say that 99% of the time, we as investigators are never experiencing anything actually demonic, but maybe an asshole ghost, like what I would call an asshole ghost.
That's what I call him too.
Yeah, on the other hand, his twin brother Keith Johnson, will tell you that every voice that comes through is demonic. It's something negative, something trying to trick us. They're both two twins that have been doing this both at least 40 years each, and they both have separate, completely opposite polars. As far as
all right, but the way you just set that up made it so there was no middle ground. Like the way you just exaggerated the whole everything's a demon. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what he says, dude.
All right, but what if someone thought that some things might be demons, but most of it wasn't?
Well, some things can be.
That's my point. That's
maybe, but I don't think they're as prevalent as one might consider them to be.
No.
All they have to be is prevalent once. That's good enough for me, bud. Like seriously,
the problem is you've got this crop of YouTube fakers that will make their stupid O-face thumbnails and then put demon in the title and get 800,000 views, and that's why it keeps happening. And all these kids that have no respect for actual paranormal investigating, just trying to get the views, then they make us old timers look boring in relation to that when we know the truth.
Yeah, see, I do speak for the old timers as well. It's another association that I'm with. And we're not boring. We're not boring.
No, we're legit, like this podcast.
Yeah, we have.
Nice. Nice word.
So, all right, buddy, go ahead. You asked the question. By the way, how the loons?
The loons were in town this morning, but I was not in town, and I was told the dog was out there chasing them, and she had quite the time with them.
That's awesome.
So Matt, my question to you: you talk about seeing the woman peek around the corner at the house that you're living at right now.
Yeah.
I myself have experienced like shadow figures and whatnot, and then it kind of almost evolved into like seeing people. I've seen four people that were there, and then they weren't there. Do you see people? Do you see whole people? Do you see? I've heard it described as like a woman made of glass. As of recently, I've heard it described as like shadows. What's your level of vision? Your veil? What does that look like?
So this was my third full body apparition that I'd seen my whole life. They're not that common for me, and I don't think they're as common as people would like. Obviously some people want to see that all the time. I'm very, very used to shadows. Shadows I see all the freaking time. But this was only the third time I'd seen that, and that was the most prevalent, obviously, thing that I've seen in this house. But I've been doing a daily recap video of my time here on TikTok and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been anything earth-shattering, but there's almost always something every day or night that goes on here. It's little things like when I walk in, I'll hear movement in the bedroom, or I'll hear footsteps upstairs, or I'm upstairs and I hear someone walking down here, and it's like I don't go look because I'm like I'm not interested. I'm going to bed. Like I don't want to know what's going on down there. So,
living in a haunted house.
Yeah, it was an opportunity, and the timing was right. And I said, "What the hell?"
And how do the people die in the house?
So there's at least three confirmed deaths that we know of in this house. The previous owner died at 100 years old, just of old age, in the back bedroom over here. It was a good life. She lived here for 80 years. And her husband died in the same room at some point in the early 70s. Now he's kind of I'm not gonna say a-hole spirit of the house, but he's kind of a curmudgeon, I guess is the right word.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then during the Great Depression, this house was a convalescent home for like wayward women that had nowhere to go, and an older woman died in the house. We have her death certificate as well.
Oh.
So we've been digging into the research and working with the historian in this town to also try and figure out who's been here. There's been at least 4 different owners, including the current owner. We're just trying to figure out, piece all the little different steps together.
So it's not just the deaths, but it's the tragic moments or like really big bursts of energy that happened at that house. Like if you had women like that are on the run, that might get imprinted. Like you would end up with that in the house. Like I would just have moved out. Like I swear to you, I keep saying to myself, like I would be the worst at being an investigator because I don't want to find anything. I don't want anything to find me. Like I got so much going on. It's just like, man, if I started seeing shadows. I mean, Sin, can you deal with that? Shadows all the time?
Well, yeah.
Oh, come on. You guys, this is
Well,
the wrong crowd. I'm talking to the wrong crowd.
It's not all the time.
All right.
It doesn't happen all the time.
Yep.
It's just a lot, though.
Yeah.
All right, but you see a full body apparition inside your house when you're buying it. Sin, would you move out or would you move back? You stay in?
I'm
I'm asking you if you saw a ghost, a full bodied one, when you were buying the house and moving in, would you still move in?
I would ask who had died in the house. I would ask the realtor because they have to tell you.
So
I would ask what the story is, and if it's not, a crazy story like an axe murderer that went on a rampage and killed 55, people down the road.
Then, I want that house.
So if they're a nice person, you'd let them stay?
I'd ask for a discount and then move in.
Buddies, that makes sense.
Well, Mike, you are asking the wrong crowd because before I moved into the house that I'm moving in now, I investigated here about 4 or 5 times. We got some really good shit. One of the things we were all down here in the basement where I'm at now. There was a recorder left upstairs, written at the area right above my head.
You're in the basement?
Buddy. Yeah, clear as day. Yeah, the basement window. It looks out under the mountain, Yeah. It's tough to explain. You'd have to be here. I knowing that I was terrified to come to this basement. Every time I came to this house, I was terrified to come down here by myself because the experiences that I had here, and then I moved in here anyway. So you're kind of asking the wrong crowd of people, Mike. I think.
Yeah, there's not much logic. It's not logical. It's not logical. Like it is.
Nothing about the paranormal is though.
No, I know.
That's
I
right.
know this. Like, I guess like that's what I know this. There's some people that are willing to take chances. I am terrified of the fact that I believe that you can let really bad things in. That's my opinion. I've seen that happen to people, and their stories terrify me the most because I don't need any of that. Like I guess it's just being old. Like you just don't want anything more. You're like, really? Mm-hmm. Like if the wife's like, yeah, we're gonna go to so and so's place now. I mean, it's like, it's just like another thing on the plate. I just couldn't. So, Matt, what is it about your personality early on that you could accept these things and just live amongst them without freaking out like I would?
I mean, right now, it was a situation that arose, and I was like, all right, well, I was in between. I was going to be in between places, and I was like, okay, so I can do one of two things. I can, because I'm trying to save up for a house in a market that is out of control.
Yes, it is.
And I'm like, I'm not overpaying right now. I'm not stupid. So I can do one of two things. I can go get a different apartment and pay too much for that and take 3 times as long to save some money, or I can take some time, save some money, and move into this place. Now, it wasn't ideal because I've moved in, but the house is the same. I just redid like one bedroom, like half of it, so that it's like it's got a TV and a new bed. The rest of it's still the same 80-year-old shit that's all around me. Like the house.
I was gonna say you must not fit in everything, right? No offense, but I'm just saying. Like,
Like I mean, it's all twin beds in here that are like prison twin beds. I'm not sleeping in that fucking thing. So I went and got a new bed for the place and just updated things that I'm going to use. But other than that, like I'm just for lack of a better term, I'm squatting here for a little while. I'm paying to be here, but it's like I'm not making it my own because we're still running investigations here and people come and do photo tours here and things like that. So I don't want to take away the aesthetics of the house. So it's just my little corner. And you know what? It's working out okay. I miss all my things, but it's part of another weird chapter in my life that only I'll have.
Yeah, the thing about having your things is the comfort of setting up how you want, right?
Yeah.
And that's that. You know?
Yep.
But when you're doing the whole changing of things, that's usually when the best stuff comes, right? Like you bounce into something, you don't know what you're going to bounce into next. Hey, this is a lot of fun. Like in other words, the difference now in the paranormal world, in my humblest of opinions, are people that are trying to figure things out and just like see where they can go next. Like they're just literally trying to figure things out. They're reading history and they're trying to figure things out. And then there's some people that are just repeating history. That's it.
Yep.
And that's it. So I think maybe that's why the older generation we get a bum rap, because some of us just want to tell you the same story. And after a while, if I hear the same story too many times, it's I don't know. I can't hear it too many times. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like there's two fields. So what's great is that you're literally putting yourself in the petri dish. You're jumping in, man. You're putting yourself in the middle of all this. Hopefully you're recording all of it. It almost sounds like a sitcom / it could be a reality show. I can't figure out technically which way you would go.
Yeah.
So, all right. Block Island. Buddy wasn't there last time, and we all felt it. I mean, he just wasn't there. Less handsome, which is the meter went down. So he will be there this time, though, right? Right, buddy?
That's the plan, Mike. Yes.
Excellent.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
It was amazing. Like, I just don't get to do that. I mean, I don't get to go stand on an island where there's a beach and everybody looks like they're dressed for the beach. And there was this one girl who was so big, muscular wise, that it was like when she started walking down the street, you just didn't want to look her in the eyes. Like, I'm being dead serious. I wouldn't look up. I was like, I ain't looking her in the eyes. She was like, she had shoulders like it was stupid. It was crazy. I'm like,
she could hurt you.
Yeah, I wasn't like, you don't. That's the last story I want to have coming back from Block Island. You know what I mean? This girl just completely kicked my ass in front of Block Island Ghost Tours. It was awful. You know what I mean? Awful. But
and it just was a hug.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all she had to do. Crush me.
She beat me up with a hug.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weddings. It was fun. Hey, buddy. So when it comes to Matt, right? With the dolls, that's where you defer. Am I correct?
I hate dolls, man.
At least he said.
I absolutely hate dolls. I actually know a guy. I tried to help him out from an investigative level. He wanted to experience more, so he went and found a haunted doll on Amazon, and he bought it. And then shit started happening at his house, and he freaked out. He called demonologist James Anito in and helped him out. But oh my God, what a nightmare, dude!
He asked for it though.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. I can't stand that. And dolls freak me out to begin with. Like my mother has dolls, and they're not malevolent, but I would still throw them out to the dog. I would run them over with my car if I could. They're just, I hate dolls. They're awful.
My mom has too.
Thank you, Matt, for sheltering dolls. I'm sure somebody is thankful for your doll efforts, but
you know what? I'm here. If you got haunted shit you can't have, I'll take it, whatever it is.
Sydney, go ahead. Buddy's on a rampage.
I know that. My mom has dolls, and they're those old, the ones that
like American.
Oh, your mom had dolls that were old? I'm sorry.
they are old. She's, I mean,
they were your mom's dolls. I get this. Yeah.
Yeah. But she still got them. And these particular dolls, they're not porcelain, but to keep them in good shape, you have to like not oil them, but put like a layer of Vaseline over the parts.
Sid, we're talking about dolls right now. Are we you in the same conversation with me?
The same kind of dolls?
Right. Which kind of doll are we thinking here? That's what I was going with.
Seriously, what are you talking? What do you mean? Like, I thought Buddy was going off the rails. You're not even on the tracks.
I am. The antique dolls.
Why are you going to use Vaseline on it?
Not China dolls, but these are the old dolls that their eyes would open and close. You know, they are, these dolls are probably, let's see, she's 85, so they are 80 something years old dolls. And so to keep them from cracking, you have to put a layer of Vaseline on them to keep them clean and porous and all that kind of stuff, or they will crack and disintegrate.
Good.
I don't like them. I had something in my bedroom growing up that was attached to a doll I had. I don't have that doll anymore.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm not a doll person anymore.
I had the Muppets growing up. That's about as far as I can come close to this whole conversation. And I'm being that serious.
You're younger than
Kermit. I had Animal. I had Ralph. We had Fozzie. I had Gonzo. Yeah. I've always loved puppets, but I don't like dolls. Does that make sense?
You know, somebody thought it would be cute when I was younger to get me a My Buddy doll.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just throw that out at her right now. I shot it with the BB gun, lit it on fire. It was
my buddy and me.
My brother had one of those, and I turned it into a Chucky doll. My mom was so pissed.
Nice.
That's perfect.
I won one from my younger brother at the Civic Center during a free throw game. It was a My Buddy doll. Yeah, it was. That's what they gave me. Like I was like 12. He was like 7. I was like, thank you. I don't want a My Buddy doll, so I gave him my brother. That's how he got his. Yeah. Well, why would you give a 12-year-old a My Buddy doll? You know what I mean? Like wrong age bracket, my friend. Wrong age.
My name.
So all right. Everyone wants to know this because this is like I keep getting this asked to me. Scariest moments, like I hit list because like everyone's got that list of like I almost died this amount of times, this amount of times this happened. But so scared, like, and it probably takes a lot to scare you, but real scared, like you get it inside feeling. Like, how many of those?
So quite honestly, it doesn't take much to scare me, but it takes a lot to trigger my flight mechanism. I usually go fight. I get scared at my own shadow sometimes, but I will fight. Mm-hmm. There's been a few times where I've had the flight mechanism, and the first ghost experience I really had was one of those, which I'm pretty sure I've told the story on here before. So I'll tell you guys different stories. I had an experience at the Detroit 6th Precinct where I was rushed by a black shadow mass that came down the cell block hallway towards me after I'd been antagonizing it. Wow. That was enough to scare me out of the building. I didn't go back in it. And then at the Hard Stuff Hall that I run, where I saw my second full-bodied apparition, that scared the shit out of me because I wasn't looking for it. I was up there with Courtney and Justin, and we were just goofing off doing B-roll. I was trying to get jump scares on camera, me scaring her. She didn't know about it. Her husband knew about it. But I was like, listen, I want you to be filming us because I'm going to get some jump scares. I want to put a little sizzle reel together. And so I was messing around with her, and I started getting all hokey and shit. And I was like, if you are here, you don't have to stay. You're not bound by I don't believe in any of that shit either. Like people like, you can ascend. We don't have that power, in my opinion, to help a ghost go wherever else it's needing to go. I'm not a religious person, so I definitely don't have that power. Mm-hmm. But I was goofing off, and as I said that, I saw this like soccer ball sized gold orb of energy kind of roll across the floor. And that's one of the ways I see energy. And I was like, something is here. So I was like, if that was you, you can ascend. You don't need to stay here. And as soon as I said that, I saw the dude standing right next to one of the little rooms up in the attic. He's about 6 feet tall, white but not see-through, like shoulder-length hair, very gaunt, frail. I saw him. He saw me. He disappeared. I had enough of a bug-out moment where I was like, "Oh shit!" And Courtney's like, "What?" And I explained it. She's like, "We need to get out of here right now." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm good for tonight. We can go now." And I haven't seen him since, but he does interact with us quite frequently when we go up in the attic. He knows that we know who he is. So,
see, now that makes sense to me because, in other words, this is my George Thorogood thing. At a bachelor party to go see George Thorogood in Atlantic City. Why? I have no idea. Like, I like George Thorogood, but I don't like his crowd. And then came in like the 6'4" bikers with the patches on, and I could see the knives, and I see them start bumping people's shoulders. I mean, I just know this. My friends, and I go, no matter what they do, just say you're sorry and walk away, like, because we don't want what they're bringing. And I waited for it at the shoulder block, and I was like, I'm sorry, my bad, and just moved. Because there's certain times where, like, in other words, I would like to die by Bigfoot. It's true. Like, people find Bigfoot and they run away, and the story's like, what the hell? You found it and you ran away. I was scared. I'm gonna run at him. He's gonna kill me, right? But then I'll be on the news, right?
if they find you,
tell the story. Hopefully,
local Italian bludgeoned by Bigfoot.
Yeah. I think that. That's a good way to go out. It's better than dying in bed. Hell, run right at the Bigfoot. But
depends on what you're doing in bed.
That's true. But I don't want to die yet. But still, I'd rather go out by Bigfoot. No offense to anybody out there. You know what I mean? Still, that might be more exciting to get it, like, you know what I mean, like a log. Oh, it'd be great.
Yeah. Or he rips both your arms off and bludgeons you to death with your own arms.
Oh, that'd be excellent, dude. That'd be awesome.
Tell the truth though. For a split second, if you could still stay alive and you actually saw a Bigfoot with your arms trying to hit you, it'd be pretty cool. Like, you go out with
I'm going to agree with you on this because I'm right there with you.
I would be like, oh my God, this is great for like 1 second, and then I'd be dead because I'd bleed out. You know?
Yeah, the adrenaline would kick in. You'd be like, wow, I have no arms, and then you're dead. So it's all good.
I'd be like, those are my arms. I did it. And I would just pass out.
My tattoos look like that? What the hell?
Oh my God, I made a mistake. So are you a run towards it, the fire type person, or do you run away when you hear fire? Because, like, in other words, you hear somebody yell, I'm choking. Do you get up and go towards, or you
yeah.
Sin, how about you? I'm asking you first.
No, I'd have to.
Do you? You're one of those people that has to get up.
I would have to.
Right.
Well, I'm trained medically, so I kind of have to.
Yeah, another gimme. Matt, that's technically what you would say?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, depending on the situation, like, I'll give you an example. It was like 2 weeks ago, I was at the Dollar Tree. This old lady had all these bags, and she was checking out, and she was walking away, and this whole slow motion thing happened where all this shit started flying out of her hands, and I was like, oh my God, this old lady's gonna fall down. And I'm watching this happen, and then I didn't see her for a second. I was like, dude, she fell down, but her bag just ripped wide open. So I was like, I don't gotta go help her. Because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to go, because I'm looking at the people in line, they're all shit bags, just like myself. I'm like, which one of us is gonna step up to the plate? So I didn't have to, but I was prepared to, like, go help this woman that likely cracked a dome off the floor of Dollar Tree. So and because of what I do in my regular jobs and stuff, I'd be over there to help.
Yeah. See, that's that also leads to, like, just ridiculous situations. Like, I had a woman choking in a Chinese restaurant. I got up. No one else is getting up. Woman was just choking. Like, I had that split second of amazement that nobody wanted to get up, and I later found out no one wanted to get up because they didn't want to get a lawsuit.
Right.
That's what this couple was thinking about next to them, a lawsuit.
Well, and then the Good Samaritan law in place for that exact reason, so you can't get sued.
Right.
Yeah, what was worse was her friends were so frantic. They were making her worse.
Yeah.
So I had to just get them out of there because that's the worst thing ever. And then, but like a month and a half later, I'm at a Newport Creamery, and this guy takes a seizure. He's got to be in his 80s. His wife has complete dementia. Oh. He's starting to fall towards all the coffee and stuff on the table. So I jump up and I'm starting to move stuff, clear out room. and to my right are these two big, like they look like lumberjack motherfuckers. I was like, "Are you gonna get up?" Like that's all I said was, "Are you gonna get up?" Like in other words, look at the size of you guys. Get up.
Yeah.
And they, they got up, but it's like I wonder if people want to go, and now they have all these because like I'm stupid. I'll just do what I think immediately first, and then I have to pull myself back. That's the only way I work. I can't think of it and then go, what should I do though? Should I move forward or am I going to get sued? I wish I had that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know if it's a good quality or bad. Like, I wish I could be like, all right, let me take a second on that, not just react. But do you understand that?
Absolutely. That's a whole study how people react to trauma, and most people will actually wait if somebody else like responds first, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have to do it." That's actually the most common response to this problem.
And now you've got everybody filming, so they would rather film the shit and watch somebody die instead of help them, and they're right there. So, and that's sad. That's really sad to me.
I sound so shady whenever I say I wish there was no more cameras. Back in the day when there's no street cameras, like there was not even barely street lights, like no one had phones that could take pictures. Like when you could just go out of the house and I'm so old, buddy, I could leave the house in a car and not have a cell phone on me.
You are that old, Mike. Yes.
You could just drive, and you know what? No one knew where you were, and you know how good it felt? Great.
Perfect.
Yep.
Oh, great.
So
go to the beach without a
now.
phone. Hey, what? It's a dream come true. Like it was unbelievable. And then all of a sudden, I carry this thing that I've watched too many interrogations. They are always pinging you and figuring out where you're going. So now I got to figure that out. I didn't just say that one. Matt, does it bug you the whole change? I guess, like the whole turning of how people are. They're very sensitive. They don't like things that are too aggressive. Like, all right, so aggressiveness seems like people don't like it. Saying USA, USA, people don't really like it. There's like a couple of those things that they just don't like anymore, and you can't figure out why, right? Because
I can't stand the new generation because I grew up in the 90s when things were normal and people weren't soft as baby shit and offended by everything. Comedians could tell jokes that they felt could tell whatever they could say whatever they wanted because people realized it was a comedic routine.
Right.
Versus, oh, I'm offended because you said something that relates to a cousin of mine's brother-in-law. Like this shit blows my mind.
If
like,
we agree that it's a joke, then there's no argument. Like once you walk into a place knowing the person's telling jokes, you can't really get mad in my book, but they do. It's like if he's doing a speech, maybe you get upset. But he's doing comedy. And secondly, like a mosh pit in the day was brutal, but you always got picked up and saved.
Always.
And I saw the change where it wasn't anymore like that, because back in the day, it was the community of the people willing to go in there that stuck around each other, right, buddy? Like we built, there was like a couple hundred people that like you knew were cool. Like you knew those were the ones that were.
You don't mosh against each other; you mosh with each other. That was the saying, right?
And there was always that like 2% of people that wanted to fight, but those people got kicked out of there pretty quick.
Well, the guys that run in really quick and push somebody from behind and try to run out. That was
like skinhead. There was the skinheads. I ran into them at mosh pits, and they'd have the steel toe boots. They'd have the brass knuckles, and they punch in the face or something.
Yeah, they brought that whole New York style, the whole arm swinging, leg kicking. Like it wasn't as bad in Rhode Island, then it kind of blended into Mass, and all of a ssudden they're throwing those wild swings and punches. I saw a girl get punched in her show. It was just like, it's girls would jump in the mosh pit. They'd always say to me, like, I'm gonna go jump in the mosh pit, and I would always say the same thing. All right, but there's a good chance you could get knocked right to the ground. Like, just so you know, like it's not as fun as it looks if you're not willing to. You got to hit and bounce and move and go with it. If you go in there, and I've seen guys go in there and get scared, like they'll stop and freeze, like they're waiting for the hit.
Yeah,
it's like that's the dumbest thing I could ever think of doing is going there, standing, waiting for a hit.
Yep, just go in and bounce off everybody and hope for the best.
Right.
Now, see, they would find that. I think that would be called savage nowadays. Like that is that a good word for it? Savage? Like they wouldn't
savage,
right? Do they still mosh like that, Matt? You watch it, like are they just old guys moshing? Because
No, I mean this. So I do concert security part time, and I've worked some pretty heavy shows, and the moshes still exist. They're not like what we grew up with, though. They're, when you got a band up there that we grew up with, like, oh, let's make this a circle pit. It's like 8 people. It's not like 300 on the floor, like opening up the portal to hell in the middle of the venue. It isn't like that anymore. But there, and it probably is our generation of people like, oh, I'll open up a circle pit, and then I'm going to go to the bathroom afterwards because I'm getting old. But it still exists, but not like we grew up with. Not at all.
Korn played at Lupo's, and I made the mistake of trying to go get a drink right before they came on. So just a person behind at the bar, and you hear, "Are you ready?" And then all of a sudden, a wave of people knocked me into the bar. It was like my dumbest decision. Like why I was saying, I don't know. I didn't expect it to go as nuts as the place went. Like literally, it went from the stage all the way to the back bar. I mean, that's a long push. So it was and then Rage Against the Machine. To me, Killing in the Name of was the first like mosh song that like other people could do. Like it brought in a lot of like radio. It was not radio friendly at all, but it was like they had a video. It was a big single. So you got the college people, then you got like more of the skinhead people. Then you had some of the people like Buddy that came out of where the loons live. And those are the scariest people. Buddy's a big guy to be in a mosh pit. He really is.
I had good times in mosh pits, but like you say, it just got too violent, man. I get too old for that shit. And I remember being at a Marilyn Manson concert about 10 years ago, and one of the guys that I went with got his whole face smashed open. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of all done with this shit now. I love the music, but I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna get.
Well, I mean, nowadays.
Engaged. I'm in my 40s for Christ's sake.
No, I didn't ask if you do it now, buddy. I don't think I ever said that. Did anyone hear me ask Buddy if he's still mosh? Did I say that? Because I don't think I did. Buddy, I didn't ask that.
No, Mike, you didn't ask that at all.
No, because back in the day, I would think that you were just at an advantage the whole time. Like you're 6'5".
I totally did.
That's not even fair. You going through like you took advantage of it. I know you did. I saw.
I enjoyed myself, Mike. I know you did.
I know you did. And then, all right. So is it that the whole paranormal thing has now the 3 generations? Like there's the young generation, there's that middle generation, and then there's the old school established generation.
Yeah.
That first generation doesn't seem to like anybody. The second is kind of caught, in my opinion. And then the third doesn't relate to the first at all.
The third doesn't give a shit about anyone but themselves. That's the problem.
There you go.
And getting numbers on YouTube. That's the biggest issue for them is they don't care about the reality of things, the legitimacy of things,
the property itself.
Anything. It's just a total disregard. And people used to say, oh, it's all these urbexers, that decided to start doing paranormal. I don't want to disrespect the urbexers because I like doing urbex as much as ghost hunting. I don't think it's that. I think it's just bored kids that saw like, oh, I can just go viral for just using the word demon and making up a bunch of fake shit and making people jump scare.
What was that word?
Urbex.
What is that?
Urban exploration. When you go and explore abandoned buildings and stuff.
Okay. Right. I just make sure I always break down terminology.
You got it.
That gets by people and myself. So all right. So all right. What's I guess it's easy to pick what's worse, but in your going around the board in your head, what's worse? Somebody that's doing silly stuff to get clicks, like some young kid just doing ridiculous stuff, or having to hear a story again. And I'm being dead serious because there's a part of me that clicks. Like I can't get past hearing something again. If I hear something more than once, especially like if Buddy says stuff in the same way, one show in a row or 2 shows in a row, I start to pick up on that stuff. Like my brain's that neurotic, and that'll bother me more than anything.
Yeah.
It's like
neurotic,
like,
that's a good word, Mike.
Well, there's like a moment where it doesn't seem real because they're doing line by line what I've heard them say before, so it makes me question if they're really meaning what they're saying because it's canned sometimes. So which one scares you more, honestly?
So I'll say, like, in relation, when you asked me my scariest moments, the reason I specifically didn't talk about the first one again is because I've told that story so many times. Like, I know you guys have heard it, and if there's a new viewer here, just fucking Google it. It's out there somewhere on someone's podcast somewhere. I don't like telling the stories over and over again. I like telling new things that have happened to me. So I will say those scammers making up fake shit are 100 times worse than someone telling the same story.
Okay, that's probably the easy answer. I know why my head goes one way. Sin, what do you think?
I agree. I can't. It pisses me off to know that people are out there faking shit,
Mhm.
and you don't have to.
No, you don't.
You don't
You just have to
to.
put in more time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but see,
because most investigations are boring.
Yes.
We sit there in the dark and nothing happens a lot.
so buddy, this is where my stance is different, I guess. Again, the made up shit is silly to me, and it goes away eventually.
Yeah.
But hearing like my wife tell a story about going to the market, maybe like by the 6th time that I've heard the story, she's still there. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
She's always going to be there. So the story is like a drip of water that just knocks down a mountain, as opposed to this other side. You see what I'm trying to say here? So what would you take? Which one's worse? See, he doesn't even know. Fake, buddy. Either say fake stuff, and remember to park in the front at HR on Tuesday. Seriously,
I'm
11:30.
gonna say I would tolerate
You would Powerade?
I would tolerate like shopping trips with your wife and stories about that rather than fake people.
See, the thing is with me and fake people, I don't even care. I don't care about what they're doing. I don't care. Like, I so don't care, because if you're gonna fake something that's already so, not to use the word crazy, but just so wide open of possibilities of what's going on even now, right now, between the UFOs, between all the things they're admitting, the different alien races, all that guy from MUFON freaked me out. I'm still upset about that conversation. Like, some people I don't want to have conversations with at the end, because I'm like, oh my God, I learned too much. Like, my head's gonna explode. So with all that going on, for them to make up stupid stuff, it always seems to me like the stupid stuff looks stupid. It just is looking stupid. So it's like, I don't care, because I'm not gonna get mad when I see something that's dumb. It's stupid. I don't like it. It's bad. But
But the
does that make any sense?
reason why it makes me irritated is because I'm out there trying to put good shit out there,
That's what you do.
and then they're going to continually perpetuate all this fake shit, and that's what the audience is going to be hungry for, is the fake stuff, because they think that's the real stuff, and I'm getting lost by the wayside. And I'll be honest, I'm not putting a lot of effort in, because it doesn't take but 3 minutes to make a 30-second YouTube or TikTok video. That's fine.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm trying to be legit, and all these people out here putting out fake shit, and then it's bringing more and more people following and copying them, so it doesn't really go away. Me personally, I don't take offense to it, because I don't. It's the same thing. I don't care at the end of the day what anybody does, because they're not paying my bills. So, but as a person who's very invested in the paranormal field and community as I am, it bothers me for the whole of the community.
Well, because all the time you're putting in,
Yeah.
right? They're just making a quick video, and it's a two-prong. They're making a quick video that's going to be bullshit and get views, but they're also going to make it look more like clowns. Like, they're going to.
It discredits the real evidence and research that we put into it.
For
It makes it look like you can get a camera and walk into any building and just get demons throwing bricks at you and shit, when that's not true.
It makes it look more fake. It makes it discredits the entire field. It discredits everything that people like Matt Warner and myself send us, people that are real investigators that really try and help people. It makes us all look like circus clowns. So it's absolute garbage. And if you're gonna
speak for yourself,
sling bullshit, I mean, I don't know, sling it somewhere else too. It's gonna be. It's gonna be, but.
Good.
But back to the age thing, like me and Mike.
You don't even have to bring me
I'm
in
older
stuff
than
like
you,
that.
Mike.
You don't do
I'm
that. You
older.
don't bring someone in. You just say something.
Just go with me on this. So I've gotten to the age where I don't give a shit. If somebody doesn't believe what I put out, because I know it's what it is. I know when I put it out there as a video or an EVP clip, I know what I saw or heard. If somebody's wanting to try to pick it apart, let them. I don't care. I don't care.
I just think I can read bullshit really well. That's just honestly like.
You think I was just bullshitting?
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't think I have all what you just said, because you lump me into like some old timers club that I didn't join.
No, you put yourself in it.
Yeah, okay. I did. Every single year I get a little bit deeper into that club. I didn't know. You know what? You made me forget. I'm not even drinking, but now I don't remember what I was saying because of your chocolate and vodka rant. No, buddy, I don't want to ask you what I was saying because I don't know what you're drinking. Matt, do you remember what I was just saying?
No.
See, that makes all four of us. That's a pivotal moment right there. All right. We were talking about people and the differences, and why the whole fake stuff ruins the good stuff and it just soils it. Like that goes for it in any aspect, because like there's also like corporate now scare tours type things that are coming in and doing that. To me, that's just as bad as having some hack do it, right?
Absolutely.
Because how do you normalize and do like anything in the paranormal? How do you make it into like a McDonald's? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, how do you box it in? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like it's gonna be the same tour that like, and they go to each city and set up the same, like the one in near us, buddy. Like they're everywhere, and they set up the same sort of like a franchise. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. How do you make
like McDonald's? It's like the McDonald's of the paranormal. Like they try and offer something that really isn't real. And they sell it and they charge really, really nice prices for them.
But like Block Island ghost stores, they don't promise you anything. That's what I like about the guys. They kind of tell you the history of where you are and different things, but nothing's ever promised, right? Whereas like these other ones seem like they're promising that if I go, I'm gonna see this, this, and this, and that's called a haunted house.
Yeah, I hate that shit. That's the same thing we tell here and at the hall. I can't promise you anything but a good time. This is a research center. This isn't a haunted house. This is for you to come in and do research and see what you find on your own. If you go to the zoo knowing the damn lions are there, they might not come out of the cave. You're not going to see them, but you know they're there. It's the same thing with ghosts. If they want to come out, they're going to come out. If they don't, they're not going to. I can't guarantee you an experience like that. That makes me look like an asshole.
Yeah, it's like the ghost might just not like you. Like I would say that he just might not like you. So it is what it is. Like that's my whole point. I think credibility is gained when I hear like, but it's not going to happen all the time. Just saying that makes me realize the person is like level. You know what I mean? Because when you don't hear that, it makes me think they're just looking for gold, and that's all they're claiming they're finding. Which that's not how it works when you're a miner. And I mean that, buddy, with the ER.
Of course.
So we're on the same page.
Right.
But that's the truth, right? So what do you do to keep yourself positive, on course, with the horse blinders on?
Me personally?
Yeah, you. How do you keep yourself every day? You keep the battery and you keep going.
I just focus on everything that I can control personally. Anything that I can do to make a difference within my own personal life is all I put my energy into. If I've got people talking shit about me, or if I've got people doing this, that, or the other thing, if it doesn't affect my output, my bottom line, meaning it doesn't put money in my pocket, it doesn't pay my bills, I don't care. Same thing with like weather and news. People are like, oh, you don't watch the news? I'm like, why? I can't control it. Weather, I could look out in the morning and see what it's doing. The weathermen get paid tons of money to be wrong every day. So what am I going to rely on them for?
The government controls the weather.
At this point, I get up and I just do my life. That's all I can do, and I can do what I need to make sure that my life is good.
You know what? That's literally one of those things that it's Zen in the sense of, that's all you really can do. And the thing is, you can affect other people, and it's not just first impressions, right? Because people think it's just first impressions. Sometimes it's I've seen that guy now 7 times in a row. Now I know this guy is going to be there, and it's a different sort of like you gravitate towards people. Hopefully, the people that are real in this and that are still doing it, they don't get discouraged and they keep trying to push through the slop. It's kind of like Andy Dufresne trying to get out of Shawshank Redemption. You got to climb, you crawl through like a football field of shit to get on the other side. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it's kind of like now because there's so much interest. I mean, dude, there's UFOs and it's no big deal. Listen.
Some of my best friends in the paranormal, they got to the point where they're fed up and they dropped it completely and they won't do it anymore.
Wow.
And it's disappointing. Then some of my other former best friends went the other way and started making fake YouTube videos, and now they're doing that thing, and I'm not friends with them anymore. And it's a shame. It's, and I just, the branches go left, right. I'm just going straight. Like you said, blinders on, focusing on me and the people that I care about and the locations I'm running.
Chappelle once said, he was talking to this girl quit her comedy dream because of Louis C.K. And then he said, I'd have to say that dream was very brittle. In other words, like the ones who stick through things are supposed to stick through things.
Mhm.
And it's always a shame when people give up on it, because how do you give up on it? You're just going to deny it. That's all you're basically doing. And then the ones that sell out, that go for the sellout, you know, I understand the monetary reasons they're doing things.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't really care at the end of the day what you think of them or how they affect, which is the worst part, how they affect the world or how they affect everything. Like they don't want to be a product of the environment. They want the environment to be a product of them. You know what I mean? Like, they're tough to deal with.
Good quote, man.
They're tough to deal with, right? Like so. The only thing we can do is we keep having on people that we know are, I hate to use the word legit, and we keep spreading that. And now on Block Island, we're gonna have an absolute party. Like, oh my God, the Friday night, I thought so. I guess it was Tim Weisberg, and he hadn't drank in a long, long time, years, and he didn't plan on drinking. But he sent out a text at like 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock, like 3 a.m. Like, and it said something about I don't know how many shots I've done, and I haven't been this drunk in over 20 years. And I immediately got terrified in the bar. I'm like, oh no, like we're gonna kill this guy. We're gonna like what like he's that like, you know, I was worried, right? And in the morning it was great because he didn't even remember how many shots he had, and he was like, that's the most shots I've ever done in one night. And I'm like,
Tim Weisberg gets fucked up.
He did 5. It wasn't like 5. It was 5 shots. I mean, and then we were having those vodka spritzer things, which were like juice because there was no alcohol in them. So Matt, you'd have the shot, and it would take you a little while to drink this stupid can of like supposed vodka something, and then you'd be sober. You'd take a shot.
Yeah,
it was like a detox to me, like the stupid drink. It had nothing in it. So
like
I was never drunk. I was just that like kind of like, I don't know, tired, like old guy drunk. Like I wanted to get wild drunk, but no one was really, you know. But when Matt comes out, we are, dude. Wait till you see. Just wait to see how great it is walking around. All the good-looking guys. Oh God, there's so many, and good-looking girls. I had to say that to preface it so that way I didn't look like I was just talking about the girls. Like I got to make sure I don't get myself.
I don't know why you led with guys, but okay.
I had to. That's my.
It's very open of you, Mike.
But I always do it a quick one, fake one, and then before I throw something, so I got to throw that. But they're just walking around, and everybody's super friendly, and they're all getting drunk during the day. There's a lot of day drinking, and there's so many creepy places and creepy ass stories of serial killers and stuff like that. All this stuff going down, and like Block Island wasn't very nice to people trying to come over, right? But there's a light that they see towards October, November. There's all this weird stuff, dude. I went there in the winter, and it was like in a Stephen King novel. Like it was just creepy as all heck. Like it really was a creepy island beyond. It made you realize you were stuck on an island. Like it made that feeling happen. Whereas in the summertime, I don't know, I'm just having a blast the whole time. I'll be honest, we were doing paranormal stuff. We were drinking. We were doing all this stuff. We get the lineup of things we're going to do. So on the Saturday, this is kind of how it goes down. Obviously 10 to 2 is island time, beach time. Tarot card readings at 2:30. I'm also going to do jokes. Basically,
are you doing the tarot readings too?
No, I don't do that stuff. That would take knowledge. Just jokes. And I plan to pass out some jokes and see if I can get people to read them. I think we'll have some fun with that. Buddy's gonna dance, right?
Woo-hoo!
We're getting a poll.
Yeah. The what? No. Don't. All right, we're going low. We're going too long when you start talking like that. So Matt,
please have a poll.
Listen.
Please have a poll.
I did.
The best thing about the Block Island weekend will be that there is no drama. It is just a fucking beach and an island with bars and a lot of people and people that are really into the paranormal. Like there's a lot of people that are into it. Everyone came up and had to tell a story. If they thought you were associated with the place, they had to stop and tell you, I died. I had a guy, he died twice. There's so much going on, dude. It's just being there is like a vacation. In other words, like just standing in one spot was enough action stuff going on. Where I was like, this is much better than being in my basement.
Hell yeah.
Much better. I mean, I get more accomplished here, but I like this bar, but not that much. Sin, we want to say to wrap up.
I am still collecting stories for It's Not Goodbye, Signs from Beyond sequel. So if you've got near-death experiences, if you've got deathbed conversations of your loved ones that have passed, if you've got signs of your loved ones that you have received, if you have got pets that have come back to say hi, please reach out to me, cintratorhillauthor@gmail.com.
Buddy, why are you doing Doves Cry?
I don't know. I just thought those. I don't know, Mike.
Yeah, I know you're not picky, buddy.
Triple IPA, that's why.
There it is. Buddy, what do you want to say? Buddy, what do you want to say to wrap it up?
Matt, it's always good seeing you and your lovely face and your lovely, I don't know what everything that you do, Matt. It's absolutely fantastic. Join us next week, next Sunday. I mean, all week we have a bevy of shows on.
A bevy.
Oh,
well, he froze at bevy with his lips like that.
Join us next Sunday live at 7:05. As we'll welcome this week, we welcome the special guests for the July event. Next week, we'll welcome the medium who will be joining us. And I think she's doing a gallery reading, Mike, not a tarot card reading, but she's really super talented. She's been on Metaphysical twice so far.
Does she have a name?
What's her name? Sarah Gagney. She's
awesome. That's important, buddy. The name's the most important
part. Awesome. She's local. She's great. She's talented. She's smart. She's pretty. All that good stuff. So join us live next Sunday at 7:05 for Sarah Gagney.
You know, I've heard you describe me, and you didn't come close to saying that many adjectives. That was like you went like 4 or 5 too deep. You're like, and she's pretty.
Go deep. I went deep on that one.
Pretty. Matt, what'd you like to say to wrap up?
I want to thank you guys for having me back, being part of the three-way three-timers club.
The three-way.
As soon as you said 3, that's where my mind went. I can't help it.
Exactly what I was saying. Yeah, you can't do it.
There we go. But I appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate you hooking me up with the Block Island Ghost Tours. I'm really excited to come out there and party with you guys and bring some realness to that island and just have a blast with everybody.
You bring in the doll with the noose?
I'm not going to bring her now because I don't want to worry about her while I'm out partying.
Christ. Oh, that bitch would have gotten tossed in the sea.
Oh man, I'd be honest. Like I can't wait to go upstairs and tell the news because they know I'm. Because they already have some there, right? There's some dolls there.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of dolls on Block Island.
I already wasn't like I didn't want to be on a ferry with you and that doll. And that doesn't like me. You know what I mean? Because that's how things go down for me, like quick like that. Joe Pesci hit, like no, and I'm down. No, we're gonna have a great time. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I can't wait to get back to Block Island for that weekend. And I can't wait for you to come for that weekend.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it is. That's the whole point of it. And so you can go to blockislandghosttours.com, blockislandghosttours.com. You can click the buy button and then book it there. I put a list of hotels. Are you going to sing the whole time? Because if you want to sing, I'll let you sing. You look at you. Look at you. Did you see that? All right. You can go to Block Island Ghost Tours if you want to book your trip. That's how you would do it. I put up a list of hotels that are nearby, within 5 to 20 minutes of a drive through the ferry in the morning for the Saturday adventure. Contact Holly or Rick, and buddy, that's a great one to freeze on. That was a good one. You are one special person, man. Buddy, you make me go. Let me wrap it up. For Matt Warner, for Sin Schrader Hill, for Buddy Money, there to me, Mike Leper King, Mike Elders was legit. Paranormal brought to you by Legit Podcast.com. See you again next week.